everyone, it's Kim, and today I'm going to show you 3 different party appetizers. Very simple, easy to do, you can make them ahead of time, so it's perfect for the busy holiday season or any time of the year. These are actually really quite elegant and really nice appetizers that you could use for any special occasion. And I always serve these, and it's always a big hit. I always have to give everybody the recipe for them. So the first one is pecans. I actually already melted a couple of tablespoons of butter, and I put about 3-4 tablespoons of fresh rosemary and some fresh thyme in the butter, and I just stuck it in the microwave and melted it real quick, so it'll cook the rosemary just a tiny bit, but I don't want it boiling. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a little salt to taste. I have 2 cups of pecans that this is going to be for, so you can make a biggest batch as you want. But I'm just going to put a little bit of salt. I like to use kosher salt because it's a lot coarser than regular salt, and I like that little bit of a crunch because I'm not going to melt the salt. I put it in at the last minute. And I'm also going to put a little bit of sugar or whatever sweetener you like. Not much, it all depends on your taste. If you like it sweet, you can certainly add more sugar. And that's it. Oh, a little cayenne pepper. Gotta have a little bit of a kick. You're not really going to taste it, but it's just going to be enough to give it that little tiny bit of heat that really, really makes it taste good. So I have my pecans in this bowl. I have 2 cups right here, and I'm just going to take this butter and drizzle it in. Get all that salt and all those good herbs in there. And I'm just going to toss it around. That's really it. Make sure everything's coated. And then I have a sheet pan lined with foil. Just going to dump everything on top. This is so easy. Spread it in a single layer on the sheet pan. And this is going to go in a 325 oven for only about 10-12 minutes. You want to stir it after about 5 minutes and make sure they don't burn. So this is something you don't want to not watch. And they only take 10-12 minutes. So they're nice and toasted and just starting to get brown. And you want to take them out because they continue to cook when they're sitting out. Take them out and let them cool. And when they're cooled, this is what they are. These delicious little pecans with pieces of dried rosemary. And it's one of those things that make an extra batch because you're going to end up eating half of it before you give it away. You can actually, this is perfect for putting little baggies as hostess gifts to everybody. People love this, and it's so festive and pretty. So that's one thing. My next thing I'm going to show you. Oh, let me do this one first. This is a dip. It's a soybean dip. You could use beans if you'd like, but I prefer soybeans myself because I like a lot more protein. Soybeans are really high in fiber, lots of protein, low in carbohydrates, and they make a great dip. I'm using a can of soybeans. I don't know if you've ever seen them in a can before, but I always like to keep this in my pantry because I can hurry up and whip this up in no time. So I have a can of soybeans in my little blender. And when they're rinsed and drained, but I want you to save some of the juice because you might need it when you blend it. And here's some of the juice right here. I'm going to add some cilantro. Chopped, roughly chopped, stems and all. Stems have a lot of flavor. Sriracha. Who doesn't like that? I'm going to put a nice squirt, a couple of teaspoons maybe. It's all the taste. Because if you like it spicy, add more. I'm going to put maybe 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. These soybeans are actually no salt added, so I might have to adjust the saltiness of it, and I might add more soy sauce later. It all depends on if your canned beans are salt-free or not. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, the unseasoned type. If you don't have rice wine vinegar, you could use regular vinegar, but I like the rice wine because it's a little bit milder. It's not as acidic as regular vinegar, but by all means, just use regular vinegar if you want. I have a little bit of toasted sesame oil, just a little bit, maybe a teaspoon or so. And I'm going to start with just a little bit of the juice I reserved from draining the soybeans. And I'm just going to blend it up. I'm going to stop and I'm going to scrape it down a little bit. And you can see it's getting nice and blended, and you want to make sure that it's nice and smooth. And when it's smooth, all you have to do is give it a taste. You want to taste it? That's really, really good. I don't think it needs anything else. It's perfect. And all you have to do is scoop it into a bowl, and that's it. And I have a little plate made up for you. Get it out of the refrigerator for you. And I like to serve it with some nice vegetables. Cut up vegetables. You could use pea pods, sugar snap peas. And it really, really makes a nice dip. It's delicious, and it's actually very, very healthy for you. That's really good. You can actually use it as a spread on your sandwiches or something. That would be so delicious. All right, so the next thing. Now, so far that was 2 easy things, and it took me, what, 5 minutes? The next thing, I am going to make these little grapes. Now, so simple. I have some red grapes. I have a little bit of softened cream cheese, not softened, but room temperature cream cheese. And this all depends on how much you want to make. It's equal amounts of cream cheese to a blue cheese. This happens to be Stilton, which is my favorite. Some blue cheese and some chopped parsley. Throw that in a bowl. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add just a little tiny bit of sugar. This is all to taste. I don't really like things sweet, as I always say, but some people might. And I'm going to just cream it a little bit. Now it's a little bit thick, so I'm going to add just a little touch of milk. Do it enough for it makes it nice and creamy. And I think that's pretty good. Scrape the bowl. Now see how creamy it is? It's almost like a blue cheese dressing, and actually it's delicious, so you could actually use it as a dressing if you'd like. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these grapes, scrape this down. I have a sheet pan with a little parchment or a silicone mat on it, right here. And I'm going to take some chopped walnuts. I toasted the walnuts, and after they cooled, I finely chopped them. So they're like a little bit, just a tiny little bit of chunks, not a lot. I want to make sure it sticks onto the grapes, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these grapes and I'm going to throw them into this bowl, and I'm going to roll them around. This is fun too. I like to do this kind of stuff. And you take them and you plop each grape into the walnut mixture, or into the walnuts, and then you want to just coat them. And you let the, I don't know if you could see this, the nuts will adhere, and you just put them on a pan. I'll do a couple more for you. This is so easy. Put them on a pan, and then all you do, I'm not going to do the rest, you take this and you put it in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours, I would say. You want it to really set. And what you get are these beautiful little mounds of delectable goodness. These little grapes, they're so good. They're savory from the blue cheese. They're a little bit sweet from a little bit of sugar, and excuse me, and the grapes. And they're crunchy from the walnuts. It's really, really good. That would actually make a good snack in the afternoon. And they're very pretty. You can put toothpicks in them if you'd like, and pass them around as an hors d'oeuvre. But this is just so simple, and it's elegant, and it's delicious. I haven't met anybody yet that did not like this. So that's it. Those are 3 simple things that you can do for a party, and it doesn't stress anybody out. I just did this all in what, 15 minutes? How easy is that? So I hope you try these recipes and enjoy them, pass them along, and get your kids in the kitchen to help with you, because I think this is something that they'd actually enjoy doing. So with that said, take care everybody, and I'll see you next time.